Hello and welcome. So today we'll actually be building a Wiz kind of platform, and it's very straightforward. This is actually the end product of what we'll be building, and we'll be actually be doing some cool stuff with Next.14, Shadcn, Figma motion, learners, and so on. Right. So I think I'll just demo it to you guys, so you guys actually have an idea of what we'll be building today. So I'm going to hover over this. I have a little bit of animation here. So when I hover over it, this guy is going to keep rotating indefinitely, and we're going to basically have these gradients pop up, right? So now when I scroll, we're going to have these guys coming in nice and clean. Let's do it again. Nice. So now you can actually see these little elements coming in. Whenever I scroll to the bottom, it's going to basically scale to 0.5 and obviously rotate 90%. So when I scroll in, you can actually see that behavior right there. So this is actually the cool effect we'll be achieving with Figma motion. So I'm going to go there, try it again, and also check out the section. It's coming in nice and clean. Check it out again. Exactly. So coming to the bottom. Nice. So this is actually the stuff we're actually be building and will actually be animating. So I think this is actually the part of the desktop view. I'm going to show you guys the mobile part as well. All right, so now we can actually view the mobile view, right, of it. So now when you check the hamburger, it's coming in as expected, nice and clean. Then you can close it out. So you can scroll, you can see your animation still works even on the mobile view, which is cool, right? So you can come in here, you can see all of this coming in handy, right? So let's see, you can see all these animating in nice and clean as well, right? We have the final image and then we have the footer. So this is actually very mobile responsive. And also without further ado, let's get right in. Hello and welcome. Right, so we're going to be building a couple of things, right? So Whereas is more of a very German kind of website, I think, right? And yeah, so it basically has a very cool landing page like this, and we're just going to go through it from top to bottom, right? And yeah, we want to go through every single component, and I think all the way to the footer, right? So the cool thing about this lesson is I will show you guys how to basically use Figma motion to animate, your different components, elements within your components. That way you can be able to, have a much more interactive application, right? So I think without further ado, we're going to start right then by, by just first of all going to the actual link of the application. You're going to click on the code, copy this particular link, open up your terminal of choice. So I think I'm actually in this repository. You can choose whatever you want, but whatever branch you do, you just want to make sure you are in the starter branch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clone this by using the git clone command, and I'll paste that link in there. So this is going to clone the the current setup, right? So by default, you don't want to clone what we have the on the entire application. So, but what we'll have here is, let's do ls. You can see that we basically have a lot of projects, and I think our own project should be somewhere here. So let's see the intro that ls. You can see we're in the main repository, right? So in your own end, you want to basically just check out, right? So git checkout starter, right? So I think this is what you should be doing on your own part, but on my case, I'm really working directly on the main branch, so I'm going to check out back to main. Okay, so that's good. And yeah, basically when you have this, you basically want to install your dependencies. You can actually do this by doing npm install. So this is going to install all your development dependencies, and yeah, we'll just give it a couple of seconds, and it's going to be, it's going to be completed in no time. Now that we basically have this, installed now, we want to run our development server by you using the npm run command, and this is going to try to run that, and mainly gives us the link. We're going to hit that link and wait for it to compile. So we hit the link now, and in the terminal, it's just trying to do some compilation. It takes a couple of seconds, and we should be good. Looking for a place to get Windows 10 Home and Pro or Windows 11 with legal and valid licenses. Now checking case found spring sale to get opportunity to have huge discounts. Windows 10 Pro is only $9.60. If you buy the bundle of Windows 10 Pro 2 pieces, it's as low as $8.39 each. You can actually use the promo code SA50 or promo code SA62 to get 50% and 62% respectively. I'm going to show you guys how we do this. For example, you can click on buy here, and then it's going to take you to this. You just select one quantity, add to cart, right? View cart, right? So you're going to be taken to this page, and you're going to apply discount code. So what you want to do here is to apply SA62 for 62% discount. Apply discount, and this is going to apply a whopping 62% discount for this particular sale, and then you basically have to pay $85 for this instead of $225, right? Yeah, I think there's actually an offer available to YouTube viewers only. You guys can actually check the video descriptions for relevant links. Thank you so much, CaseFund, for sponsoring this. Okay, so now you can see that it's compiled now successfully, and we're going to just dive right in, try to set up our color scheme, and then we'll move on straight to the asset importation. So now that we have this, so we're already here. So what I'm going to do on my terminal, you might not really have this, it doesn't matter, you can just do it manually. So I'm going to try to open up a new dialog basically. So this new dialog, I just want to type in, oh, not really that one. So what I want to do, click on that, duplicate root, exactly. So you can just do the code dot command. It's going to open this in your VS Code, right? And you have all your projects set up and everything, right? So you want to go to Tailwind config.js. It might look smaller, going to pump out the font a little bit, and I think that looks better. So under the extend, you want to have the colors, right? So we'll basically just set it up. Most of the time we just have primary, secondary, tertiary in some cases. So primary. All right, so here from the looks of it, primary color is that kind of color you use the most in your application. Is more of the brand color. So from what I could see here, the primary color is this, right? So you can actually grab it here, have it selected, and it's actually orange. I don't know what orange is. I need the X code. You can click on this little icon to detach it, and then you have the X code. So I'm going to copy that, go to your code, and pull that within the primary block. Don't forget to add the hash before it. Okay, so that's our primary color. I think this is actually our secondary color right here. Copy that, detach it, get the X code, take it here, and you want to do something like secondary. So let's add the hash before it. So now we have the primary, we have the secondary. I think that's actually it for for the most part. Not really. We have a text color, which is this. So I'm going to this and this, I think. So we have light blue, we have dark blue. So I think this is actually light blue. This is a light blue. This is a dark blue. There's dunkelblau. Is this German, man? Alright, so this is actually light and dark blue. That makes sense. I think it was reused across the entire application that way. So let's grab it. I'm going to select it and detach it from here. Get the X code. Get the X code there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do light blue and add the hash and paste it right in there. And do something similar, dark blue. Add your hash, and then let's get it dark blue. Dark blue, detach. Here we go, and I'm going to just paste it there. So now we have the light blue and we have the dark blue. Interesting, right? I think for the most part, those are like the relevant things we've been needing. Let's check this out. Let's check this out. This is white. This is like light blue, white, and let's detach this. This is white as well. Okay, so I think with this we basically have all of our color setup, right? Nothing much here, just a few colors. And the next part is we want to export our assets. So let's grab the first logo. Click on the export pane. Click on preview. It's coming in nice and handy. We go in there. We want to make sure that we basically edit out all of this. So I'm going to do. I'm going to delete every other thing we had before now. And yeah, so let's name this. It's a logo. Nice. So this is the first image. This will be our arrow image. So one thing I would do here though is I will try to separate this image from this, because we're going to be animating them with Figma motion with cool effect. We don't want to have all of them stacked as a single image. So we basically have to separate it. So let's grab the first one, export. This is the image. So you can basically just, I think export it. Okay, so we're going to call this arrow. So that's our arrow right there. So we have this little icon here. So let's grab that one as well. And I think it does have a background, yeah, with some slight opacity. So we can export that. So arrow icon, I think. So that's our arrow icon. And let's go over to the next part. So we have like some sorts of images here and there, right? So you select this. That's some drop shadow alongside it, which is okay, not bad. We can grab that and just use this. So export this. Come in here and so since they don't really have like specific names and it's a JAMA, so I'm just going to start by using some basic acronym for them. So export. This will be our A2. A2, and then export. This would be our A3. Alright, so we have A1, A2, and A3. Good. So let's come in here. So we have this one. So export. Come in handy. This code is A4 or B1. Underscore B. Lowercase b, I mean. So we could do that B1. Oh, still. Alright, so B1. Finally, we're done with that. So this one would definitely be C1. Select it, export image. Come in here and we're going to call this C1. Okay, so now we have the footer logo, by the way. So let's grab that. Click on the export. And I think everything there is basically just white, so we might not be able to see much. And we're going to rename this to footer logo. Yes, so basically have that as the footer logo. And good. Now we're done with everything that has to do with the assets exportation. So let's start out by actually building up the navigation and stuff like that. Right, so let's go to the code, come in here, and this is actually, okay, I think I'll just have to restart. You always do this when you basically have some setup or something like that. So let's kind of close some of these tabs that are not relevant. Clear this and try to run dev one more time. So while we're waiting for dev to run, we can go to the source folder, go to components. We're going to create a new folder. I'm going to call these sections. Create a new component. I'm going to call these cards. Right. So for the sections, we basically have the error section. So let's create that section, new. So that's error section. right? And what else do we have? There's like the category part. I'm not really, I don't really understand this language, so I trust my best as much as possible to just, sometimes just translate it, right? So let's grab that. Google Translate. Okay, these are our services. Oh, interesting.
Unsere Dienstleistungen.
Whatever that is, yeah. All right, so that would be our services section, which is good. All right, services section. Service section. So service section. And yeah, what about this one? Let's try this one out. Company history. So we can call that company history section. Right. Come in here, create a new file. Company history section. Okay, so and yeah, what about this? Let's grab that. Let's see here, useful information or information section. Okay, so all right, we got another one. Career section. Come in here and just create a new file. So that's the career section. Right, so basically have the company history, career, and lastly, we should be having the footer section. Right, so now that we have all the sections, which is a good thing, we want to go to app, go to page, and try to align all of this. So we want to, first of all, make sure that everything is running as expected. I'm going to refresh this. Okay, interesting. So that means everything is coming in as expected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe everything off, take everything off from here, and I'm just going to put a main container. I'm going to have the navbar component. This is actually pre-built, and I'm going to remove this image. So navbar, I think the other one is the hero section. Let's go through it. Okay, so let's go in there, and we're going to have the hero section. This is actually uppercase H. So hero section, we have the what was that again? Right, I think that has to do with our services though. That's so weird. I would have left a comment here to just basically, follow it. Okay, so let's see. The last time we checked out was Match K, right? This actually build a career with us. Okay, so I'll just leave it as a comment here. Build a career with us. I'll leave each of the transcription, each of the word as an actual comment. So it's easy to basically follow. So I'm going to paste that in here. Useful information. Come in here, leave a comment here. Useful information. So that's the info section. So I think this has to do with the career page though. Not sure, but let's see. Company history. Oh, I see. Company history. Company history, good for us. and name this guy. What is this? So let's have it selected, copy, paste in here, services, say comment that. So this will be our service section, and send it out. Okay, good. So now we have a very like proper translation of each of the strange language. Yes, so I think this is actually German, so I was right. Each of the German sentences. All right. So and okay, so let's group them now. We have the hero. So let's do the what's this service section. All right. So hero. There we go. We have the service section. And what's next? We have the company history section. Right. And the other one here, this info section. Info section. And yeah, I think this has to do with career. But let's see. Career section. All right. And also we have the footer. Okay, interesting. So let's make sure that everything is coming as expected. There we go. They are coming in as expected. Okay, so now that we basically have that skeletal setup, we want to build up the the actual navigation. Okay, let's do that. So the navigation, we basically need to close up the entire thing, open up the navbar, and let's pin this since we'll be spending quite some time on this. So the logo here is actually present in the, so every images we exported, I'm just going to drag them into the, okay, I'll wait a bit, create a new folder called images. So I'm just going to make sure I drag everything within the images folder. So in here, we're going to have this as images/logo.png. Yes, so Waze is coming in. Good. So basically I have to set this up, right? So we have this as part of a link. So let's choose a font. I think we already have some similar font. Dean. That's strange. I actually had a Dean Pro font here somewhere. Not sure why it's not coming up here, by the way. Okay, so let's do downloads. Oh, I just deleted them, by the way. So let's see. Okay. Okay, so we don't need to worry about it. We already know what we are. It's just so annoying that we have to worry about it, by the way. Okay, so let's see if it is here. Okay, so what we need is Dean Pro board. Alright, so let's install it in our local system. Download Dean Pro fonts. We already have it here, exactly. So if that doesn't work, we'll just use a different provider to download it. Download the TTF. So there we go, we have it here. Okay, this is it. This is the regular part of it. So let me try to maybe refresh this page. Okay, so I just try to install all of this. Yeah, I already have them installed, which is weird. I'm supposed to be seeing them. Didn't pro from not. Okay, so let's refresh. Probably this could help. I don't know, Windows can be weird at times, right? It's supposed to be popping up, but it's not. But no problem. We're not going to allow that, stress us. We're just going to grab the actual test and try to link it as we need, right? So we're going to remove that. I'm going to add a couple of these. 1, 2, and I think 3. So let's take this one and yeah, take it here. This one. All right. So that's the reference. Put it here, and also grab the last one. Put it here. Let's see what we have so far. So this is what we are having, as expected. And yeah, on the right part, we have this little button. So that's on this part. So we already have like a main button component. So it takes in a text prop. So text basically means what is the title of the button or whatever that is. Contact. So contact. I think that's the English version of like contact us or something like that. Say contact. So now let's play around with the width of the actual button. Yes. So for this case, the rounded doesn't really have border radius, which is cool. So what we want to do is to remove every form of border radius in this. So you can actually do that by just doing rounded 0. I should take it off. Okay, so rounded 0 doesn't seem to be doing much. Okay, so I think we can just, update the entire button component. Remove that, go to the main button, and yeah, so here we want to look for the rounded class. So if we have it, we're just going to, modify it. Alright, so let's see wherever we're having that. Yeah, I think I've seen minimizes. I'll just take this off. Alright. Okay, there we go. I think it's still missing for some weird reason. So I'll just do rounded 0 instead. Good. Okay, so now what we can do is to control the actual width of the button, right? And the width here, you just have to select over it, right? Sorry about that. So I have it selected this way, and I think the width is like 147, right? Something like that, I think. Okay, so let's do that. Maybe reduce it a bit. So that's 147 pixel, and good, not bad. And what we want to do is to add this icon. So fortunately for us, we have a particular component called the right icon route. So right icon route, this is it, and we're just going to pass it here, and we need to basically specify the route. So for us to have that, basically have to export this. Click on the export, preview. This is it. You're going to export that. So you see it is zipped for some reason. So make sure you unzip that. So you come in here, open it up, icon, communication, exclude. Go try to open. Good. So this is just the envelope icon. So that's the envelope icon, and we're going to take it into the images. So I'm going to take it here into the images itself, right? And yeah, so that means /images/ envelope icon png. So let's see. Yeah, it's coming as expected. And also we need to maybe make it a little bit smaller. So I think for that, we basically have the right icon class. So maybe the width can actually be 24 pixel. Let's see if that applies. Maybe 14 pixel. Okay, so that did apply. Yes, so let's see the actual width. Service selected. So it's actually 24 though. So it's not bad. 24. Height will be the same thing. Okay, so we need to increase the font size of this, I think, to match what we want. So I'm just going to copy that and click on this. So this is bold and it's actually 16. So all right, so you can do font bold, text 16 pixel. Okay, so yeah, so we need to give the author some margin left of maybe 7 or 6. Let's do 4. Go something like that, yeah. Yes, so maybe make the icon a little bit smaller. Doesn't need to be completely 24, or can do 18 for starters. Okay, maybe 19. Good. Something like that is so cool, right? So let's worry about the responsive nature of it, right? So let's do the responsiveness. So it's actually in mobile, so we basically have to be having, the same thing, the same links and all. So we're going to copy everything here, and we're going to take it to here and paste it right within there. So for the other button, we're going to grab it from here and replace this with it. So replace that, right? So, and also we need some sort of hamburger and stuff like that. So if we do not have, well, we can just, have a way that we do div. So I can just comment this out and let's do a div here. And what we want to do here is we need a way to be able to, have some sort of, lucid icon. So I think, okay, let's do menu. So menu icon, something like that. This is from Lucid React, so we should be having that. So I think menu icon just cool, yes. So we can have that. So you can add the on-click handler to it. So when you toggle it, it does a couple of things and stuff like that. Good, right? So you can take this off now. All right. So the only thing we need to fix now is the logo part. So we'll do this images/logo.png, right? So let's check it out. Whereas, so 7 is okay, but let's see if we can do 5. 6. Okay, so 6 basically just seems fine. So, and also the icon here, the lucid icon that we just added, when you override, it should basically have a cursor pointer. So let's add a class cursor pointer. So when you override, it basically has that cool little thing, right? So we come in here, we have all of this, and you can see we basically have the responsive setup as well. Everything coming in, cool and sweet. Nice. Now that we're done building that part, we want to dive into the actual hero section of it. So the good news here is that the background is actually white, right? And not necessarily white, because some part of it is white, while some other part is not, right? So I think it depends on how we want to achieve this. We can just create a fill here, since it's definitely our design, and make everything white, right? So you can come in here and make a proper fill, but then that does not really mean we should do it that way, right? So but now I can see when you select this, when you select this, we have the ultra light gray. This is the actual background. So but then you can add your own BG white and stuff like that. So we're going to unlink that, grab that, and so the background, we're going to just take it to the beginning of what we have. So we'll go to page.csx, come in here, and you want to do bg. So we'll paste it in there. So that would be our background. This is actually our background from the looks of it, right? So the navigation is having white because we gave it white, as an actual background. But this actually takes the actual color of the background, which makes sense. All right, so let's create the hero section real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this hero section up, try to close out the rest, close out the navigation. So now we have the hero section. We can just pin this and convert this to section. So what we're going to do here is we already know that it has like two sides, the left side and also the right side. So the right side basically contains an image and also an absolutely positioned element on the top left. All right, so let's do this. Let's cook it. So we have the image. So we have the source. At the same time, we have the auth. So this is actually the hero image. So here we can just do /images, then /hero, I think. Hero.png. And here, this is just like a bunch of text. So 1, 2, 3, then the main button. Okay, so grab the first one, put it here, grab this one, and here we put it here, and also here as well. We put it here. So we hover over this and stuff like that. And what else do we have? So the text is this. So we can just grab that and put it within the actual text. Yeah, so, but then we have the icon right. So, right, so what we're going to do here is we have different options. We can basically export it, or we can use an icon from Lucid React. So we're just going to export it for the time being. All right, so let's do that. So let's go in the chevron, whatever that is. So I'm just going to copy that if it's possible. I'm going to just paste it in here, which is not possible, by the way. Just going to drag and drop it in here. So drag and drop might not really work because I think I basically have to extract them there. Okay, so it's extracted. Go to icon navigation, so we can drag and drop it now. Okay, so I'll just call this right. So it's going to be the right icon, by the way. So right icon is actually available in /images/that. So let's see if we will be needing to, add some classes to it here and there, but I don't think so. So let's make the font bold or bolder, as the case may be. So let's close this out. Same with this. Same with this. Not sure why I can't scroll down. Very weird thing. Okay, so let's do the font here. So we've added the font bold. Let's check it out. Okay, good. And also what we have there is it's actually text 16. I think it's text 16 by default. Okay, good. All right, so now we basically have that kind of setup, which is fine. So let's tie what we have here. This is the first one. This one, I think this one will be of the light blue. So let's do that. So it's light blue. Font bold. So we'll do the same thing here, I think. Text dark blue font bold. So let's do MY4. Right, so I think this one is 32. All right, good. So this has to be text. This has to be text. 32 pixel. So let's check it out. Nice. And finally, we have light blue again. Okay, so here also has to be uppercase. Good. That's light blue. And so basically have text. 10 font medium. Okay, so let's see. Exactly. So actually it has the same shape as this. So we need to be careful here. Maybe we need to bump it up with 18 pixel. Something like that, I think. Okay, so what we're going to do, we want to check the size between here and here, which is like 38 pixel. So we can come in here and do margin bottom 38 pixel. Right, so ideally that is so good. Right, so the next step basically has to do with us, trying to align or play with the alignment. So that should be the easy part. And what we're going to do is we're just going to come in here. Flex colon gap 8. Use the medium device, flex row, justify between. So let's see what we have, right? So something like that. So I think in a much more realistic environment, this can be good, or we can as well just do justify around. Yeah, something like that. So we can do item center. Good. So we have this. Exactly. And also, this is a very good part. And the only difference here is the way we add the background color, right? So the way we had it here, we've not really added any background color so far, but when we do, it's just going to want to add it to suit this alone without affecting this. So let's see if there's a way we can do that. So that's the first part. Let's do class BG white. Okay, so all right. So the weird part is it's actually, not growing through the entire thing, which is a problem. So let's do maybe let's grow. I doubt if that works, but let's see. Okay, so that grows it. No, that will actually defeat the purpose of using justify around, because it tends to override it, actually. So I think what we will do is we'll move it from here. Let's put it in this entire thing first. So we now know that, oh, this basically has that kind of, background and stuff like that. And then, so let's say, and then here, they'll basically have to just push this guy down a little bit to fix that. Yeah, so we can do that. So let's take it down, and the way we do that is very easy. So margin bottom, let's just assign first. So this has to be minus system. Okay, so I think it works. This is it. So I think system is quite very small. So let's do 32. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So this will only be applied if it's desktop. So we don't want to do this shit if it's actually, if it's different, or if it's a small device or something similar, right? So now that we basically have this kind of setup, so we want to push it away from the top a bit. So let's do that. Come in here, do my top 16. Okay, so my top takes in the entire guy. So padding top should just work. Good ball. And mobile, basically have to, pad this a bit. So that's good for me. Can do a 32 for mobile screens. Okay, very good. Very good, good. So now I think the hero section is done. It's all set. We're good to go here. And the other part of things is, don't worry, after the entire thing, we're going to align everything to match, the same view, right? Okay, so I think we can start with the other section. This should be our service section, as we denote right here. So let's grab a couple of things that I think we need. We'll need a couple of cards here, by the way, so it's completely understandable. So let's build the title and then description, right? Okay, so I was trying to check if we are reusing it at any point, but it seems that's not the case, which is okay, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to close this out. We're done with that. Go to service section, right? So in here, I'm going to change this, make sure this is pinned. Okay, so section. So what we're going to do, we're going to just do a 2-div kind of setup. So the first div, the first container basically has the title. And the second paragraph has a setup. So I'm going to copy that and paste it within there. So we have the class name. This is actually 24. which is okay. The font is bold. Dark blue. So this on the other end is actually just light blue. Light blue, and think 16. So we have the 16 pixel there. Right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to do some sort of reconciliation because of the fact that it's actually shooting downwards, right? So what we're going to do is going to just do empty. So let's start with its rank first. Okay, what about this? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so it's completely very close to it. So it's fine the way we have it. So this will actually apply to, I think, medium devices, but because small devices doesn't really have issues like this, right? And also we need to set some sort of max width to this. So max width is like 520. So that would be the max width of this text, right? So MD max width. So max width here is actually 520 pixel, right? So yeah, you can see it's coming in like that. And yeah, so the other thing we need to get is the card setup, right? So let's build the service card. So before now, we already have a folder called cards. So what we want to include there is the service card. So service card.tsx, and what we're doing here is we want to take in the image URL, the title, the description, just that basically, right? So yeah, those are the things we need. So let's create this into an interface prop, right? So iProps. So we can say image URL, which is a string, and the title, which is a string, and also we have the description right there, which is a string as well. So here we're going to try to destructure this within here. So we have image URL. First of all, let's pass this in the iProps, right? So we have the image URL, we have the title, and we have the description. So those are coming in as expected, and the things that we need is really very simple. Yeah, so first off, we need the image, we need the title, we need the description, and so on. So let's do that. So the image will actually be put in a separate div, right? So we can just come here, do source image URL. So don't specify our auth, service image, right? And also we come in here and just grab a couple of our paragraphs. So this one will be the title, and this other one will be the description. Title, description, and then we have the link. So let's do this. I'll just put this in a separate div, and this is the text. The text, and also we have, so what we can do is this chevron right. So chevron right from Lucid React. Text is going to be primary. Text can actually be 16, pixel 610. Font has to be bold. So let's check this out. Okay, so we've not really put it within the component yet. We might not see anything. So and also we just need to flex gap 4. Okay, so while we do that, let's come in here and do a couple of things. So the title here is text dark blue. So text is actually 20 pixel. 20 pixel, and the font has to be bold. So I think similar thing with description. We can just grab it and paste it here, but this is actually light blue. Text is actually not sure if the text is 20, but let's see. Text is 16. Text is 16. So font can be bold, by the way. So let's see what we have. So now in the service section, we need to create a data. It's going to be an array of whatever here. So an array with image URL slash images slash. So the image, I think we have A1, A2, and A3 respectively. So we have the A1.png. Right, and what else do we have? We have the title. So just going to grab this guy here and paste it here, and then we have the description. So this is the description. Grab the entire thing and paste it right there. So we're going to just duplicate a couple of this. 1, 2. So this is going to be A2. And it's going to be A3. So what we have to do is to change the title. So paste the title here for this one, and the description here as well for that one. Okay, so close this out. So we have the title here, copy that. So we paste it right in here, and let's make sure that they're all in the same line. And also, we're going to paste this right in here. Okay, so we have all this data. So what we want to do is to, within this div, we want to just do data.map. So now, we basically have two things. We have the actual service object, or whatever you want to call it. We have the index. So at the same time, we want to render the service card. So now we already know that service card takes in a couple of props, which is very much the same with what we have here, right? So when we're actually defining the actual property names and all, we were not mistaken. We know what we are doing. So here, instead of trying to put everything there one after the other, what we're going to do in this case is to just do something like this, right? This is a very cool hack that we can do. So destructure the entire service. Let's put the key here as the index, right? So this way, you just have a very clean structure. So let's go in here, try to refresh it. Okay, so what are we having here? Oh, we have some special characters, so let's fix it. So let's remove this, maybe remove this. Yeah, I think that's the only one we got. Any other one? Oh, there's some issues here. Actually, where is it? Okay, let's do, oh, okay, I see. That's not really the issue. The issue is there's no comma here. So adding the comma should make it work. So let's refresh it. Good boy. So you can see that we basically have all of our components. So let's try to fix it and make sure that the image here is having the same setup as this. So we need to have some spacing here as well. So let's do that. Okay, so here let's check the spacing between here and here. So hit on the Alt on your keyboard and 24 to the top, 24 to the bottom. So 24, 24 is what we need. So we can just do my. Sorry about that. My 24 pixel. Okay, so I think not really. That should work. Oh, it didn't work. Is it PY? No, that is very strange. Oh, my. It's actually p tag, so that could be the reason. Let's use it as a div. Still doesn't work. Oh, okay. I'm in the wrong spot. This is actually the section, not the service card. I'm just going to undo it. Go back to service card. Yeah, I wanted to talk more about this. So, my 24 pixel. This should do it. Yeah, good. So the max width for this guy is what exactly? Just let's say the max width here. We're just getting a bunch of stupid hooks. I think the width here is like 312. Might be wrong, but let's check that out and see. 312 pixel. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, by the way, will be 197. So I'm going to undo that. So we'll do the same thing for the title. 197 pixel. Okay, so good. Description, good. So here, so I think one weird thing wrong with the image is the fact that it has some sort of, shadow here and there. So let's say, yeah. So we need to just apply some negative margin left to it. So margin left 8, 10. Yeah, so something like that should be close to decent. And also back to the service section, we can now, grid this, yeah. So put this in a grid or whatever we want to put it in. So you can just use a flex or whatever. So I will do grid columns 1. So MD grid columns 3. Gap 8. Justify around or something like that. Okay, so we need to make sure it's aligned, by the way. Right. Okay, so I'm going to go to error section and make some update. So this justify around should be between, and go to page.tsx. Let's add some settings here. So class mx 20 rem. So we have px20 rem. Oh, except the background. Yeah, so that one is very weird. So I want to take this guy off actually. So let's do 10 rem first. mx10 rem. Okay, is this almost decent? Yeah, so this will actually be for, I think, medium devices. So for small devices, you can just do md4, something like that. So let's do the hero page, hero section, I mean. Okay, so let's do px. Okay, so you can see that now we have a proper structure of the hero, and also we have the same proper structure of these other parts of the component. So let's minimize it. So you can see we have it this way. So let's try to expand it. So I think for medium, we can do 2 in medium. Service section, 2, so large. Grid, columns 3 in large. Yeah, so medium can actually be 2, which is not bad, right? So it's actually 2 column here. And if it's actually like single or whatever that is, like if it's a small device, it can actually be 1 in every column. So it makes sense. So that's 18. So the gap, yeah, so let's see. We can do 16, and then maybe 32. I don't know how small that would be. Okay, this is the way 32 looks like. Okay, so this gap can actually be MD. Gap 8 for mobile. Okay, so that's almost decent. So if it's large, we can just, do this other thing. Okay, so that is actually coming nice as expected, right? So what else do we do? So let's not forget, let's fix the hero section now before we move on to the other component. Not the hero section, I mean the navbar. So what we're going to do is going to go to a page, and we're going to go to navbar first, and just going to do mx 10 rem. Okay, so we have something like this, which is not completely the same with what we want. Yes, so we're gonna go back to page and do something like this. Copy here and paste it here. So 10 rem. And meanwhile, we want to make sure that there is no any mx within it. We can remove this one. Right, so I think in this case, we can just use px. So we still have the background and stuff. So for some reason, that doesn't work. So if that is the case, I'm going to undo real quick. Grab this instead and place it here. Okay, so we have it well aligned, and maybe we need to take away a couple of things, maybe 9 rem. Okay, 9 rem. Okay, so it seems 9 rem is actually eaten the entire shape. That's straight to me. Same with this as well. So I think 9 rem just works. So let's check it for mobile. Make it smaller here. Okay, you can see that everything is still coming nice and clean. Nice. Okay, so now we can actually move on to the next stage of this project. So this has to do with us actually trying to build out this other section. So this is actually the company history section. So let's see how we can quickly build this out, right? So okay, so let's do that. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the company history component. Okay, there we go. I'll just change this to section. Right, so what we have here is like we have two cards, overlapping each other. Right, so one div and two div. So the other div is actually an image. So slash images slash b1 png. We have the alt here. So we have the alt there, and we already know that this image is actually overlapping what we have in this particular container, right? So which makes sense. So now we can actually just call this the history image. So in this div on the other end, it basically has some sort of background color, which is nice. It has some text. Copy that, paste it in here. We have a different paragraph, which is this one. Paste it in there. Okay, we have this. Paste it in there. And also, we normally, in most cases, have some sort of separator. So it's just a separator. So we don't really have it here. We have to install it from Shadcn. So Shadcn is separator. Okay, so this is installation. So you can come in here, copy the npm command, go in there, and what I'm just going to do, just going to try to duplicate this, paste it in my terminal. So we're just going to wait for it to install. All right, so now that it's installed, we can just go back and grab the code. This is how we import it. So you can paste it in there, and we're just going to have the separator component here, and the orientation is actually horizontal by default, so there's no point specifying that. And what else do we need? We need to have this. We can just put that in a div of its own, very similar to what we used before. Maybe I can just grab that from the service section, from service card. Grab this and paste it here. I think the wording is different, so I'm going to copy this one, paste it there, and import the chevron right. So the text is actually text white. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, so now we basically have the underline, we have everything. So let's do the styling. So first of all, let's get the background. So this one, this field, this background color. So I'm going to check if we already have it. Come in here, paste it there. This is actually dark blue for some reason. So dark blue is something as secondary. Okay, so that is very weird. So I'll just remove it and use dark blue instead. So be the dark blue. Good. So here we basically have the first guy, which is 14. Text 14 pixel font bold. So font bold and then uppercase. So I'm gonna copy something similar and paste it here. So font, how many is this? 32. From bold is not uppercase. This is actually white. Same with the last one. So I think MY. So let's see the distance between here and here. So it's the alt button. This 24, 24. So that's actually, I think, 24 pixel. Right, and yeah, so the text here is light blue, so let's add that as well. Okay, so and also the final one is light blue and not white. Oh, it looks white, but we can leave it as white, but this is light blue. So okay, so we have some max width here, 494. So 494 pixel, and I think the same thing applies for the other one down below. So copy it and paste it down here. Okay, very good, good wall. And the distance between here and yeah, so the style in here though is changed. So what we're going to do is to do this. It's actually white. Okay, so let's just add this one between here and here. 56 pixel to the top, 24 to the down. Okay, let's go to the div. So we're going to put a separator within that div. And in here, I want to make sure that's empty 56 pixel MB 24 pixel. So this particular, card or container, as it may be. So let's check. It can 98 pixel from the left. What about from the top? 98 from the top. So padding is like 98 pixel. So I think this is actually specific to medium device. Maybe small device, you can just do padding 8. Right. So this will actually be the first part of it. So let's look for a way to obviously reduce the opacity or whatever that is. Right. So let's do that. Color. Does it take opacity? It doesn't. So let's do color. So maybe white, or wherever we have some sort of color or whatever that is. Okay, so I'm just going to do text /fff. So we have the set, we can click on it. Click on it. So I'm going to reduce the opacity this way, right? So we can copy that and paste in here as the actual color. So let's try that out. It's now coming in as expected. Border, paste that as a border color. Good, exactly as needed. So we can key this one out. Maybe if we decide to reduce this the more, like that, then we can do that as well and put it within here, I think. Okay, so come in here, refresh it. Not sure if it's changing color at all, which is strange. So let's border. So let's do that one. Okay, so it's not really getting what we need right there. So okay. So BG red. Okay, so I think we can definitely use BG, which is a very weird approach. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to grab all of this and I'm just going to remove all of this, BG, then paste that in there. Great, as expected. Nice. So now that we already have it, we can take this off. This was just for experimental purposes, right? And also, one thing we will need is to now absolutely position this guy on top of this. Yes, so then if we're done doing that, then what's the maximum size of this code? 1009. Right, so we can come here and just do so mass width. Okay, 1009 pixel, and yeah, so we can actually make this a relative kind of container. So this guy will be in here, but it will definitely have a class of, so have a class of absolute. It will have a class of right 0. We'll definitely be modifying all of this later, but this is just the base for us to get started. Right, and maybe top 0. Okay, so yeah, so the right, we have to push it to the right a bit. So how we do that is very easy. So let's do right 16. Okay, so right minus 16. So we can do that minus 32. Okay, you can see how clean that is. Extremely responsive. And also we have to take it down a bit, which is top 8. Try top 8. Good, right? So we still need to push this to, to the farther right. So it's rem. That was actually minus 8 rem. So let's do minus 15 rem. It's 20 rem. Okay, so let's do minus 18. That seems to be too much. Okay, so minus 18 seems to be at the exact middle. right? So you know that things that has to do with absolute positioning like this, you just want to make sure that you don't do them in mobile, right? So I think in the mobile view, I can just have this as hidden. So MD, we can have it as block medium devices. So you can have this, good. So good. You can see the way it's coming in as expected. So the max width of this separator is 494, right? So let's add that. So 494 pixel. Okay, so with this, we've actually concluded this part of the design, which was really fun, given how we're actually working on it. And also, I think we can just internally scale the distance between here and here. So we can do this, and then it's 168 upwards. So we can do margin top, can just be 16, but medium. Margin top can just be 168 pixel. Okay, so mobile, let's take it to the small screen. Good, very clean. All right, so now we have to go over to the other component. Right, so we have this other one, which is the so this is actually the info section. Yeah, so we're going to do this. We're going to build this part. It has just some sort of cards or whatever, but we're going to do something very similar, right? And okay, so let's build it. Info section. Gonna close this out. We have the info section there, so I'll pin this. So I'm going to rename this to section, right? And what is important here is that we have some sort of title, description. We have the button aligned, baseline aligned to the right? So let's do this. We have to first of all group it. So 2 divs should be sufficient. So this will contain the cards. These will contain other stuffs. So first off, let's get this one. We have this one. This is very similar to this. Let me grab the styling I used in there. So I can just copy all of this and paste it right in there. Right, so but then we have to change the actual text. So copy the text there and we'll replace it with this. Also description as well. We'll copy it and then we'll replace it like that. Okay, so and also I think finally we're having this at the same time. We'll be having the main. So we have the main button. We need to include the text prop. And what we have here is the user blog and icon right. Right icon route is thing / images / rights png. Right icon class is ml fold. Let's see what we have there. So it / images / right the png, maybe right _ icon. Okay, so we basically need to add some classes here. So font board, text 16 pixel. Yeah, so I think with that we can actually have a very decent button. So yes, I think the next step is for us to properly align this, and then we can group it and separate it. The distance here and here is like 16 pixel, which is like 1 rem. And let's say we need to be able to get that perfectly well. And MB4. Okay, so MB4 there. And then we can come in here, do the class name, do flex justify between, and items end, I think. Good. That should give us the same behavior as what we have here in the initial specification. And also, due to the negative margin positioning of this first container, we have to stay away from the top quite a bit. So let's try to do that. So in this section, we're going to do empty, mostly for maybe empty 8. So for medium devices, you want to do empty. Let's start from 9 rem. Okay, 9 rem, is it okay? Not okay, so let's do 12. Okay, how's 12 like? So weirdly enough, it seems, I don't know if this might not really have the setup for now, I think. So we need to make sure that it's taking the same width and also. So maybe we might need, if we want to do that, we need to, make this a free element, not just confine it. So I think we can go back to the common history section, isn't it? Okay, so is it common history? So let's see. Common history, definitely. So we're there now. So we were actually confining this here. So let's see if we can stop that behavior and do something like that. Doing something like this makes it weird because of too much spacing. All right, so we're going to undo it and keep it the way it is before. Right, and also if we intend to put this at the same space as this, we can do that if we want to. All right, so let's go in. We have, okay, we're not there. we are here. So user block, so we have that, we have this. So now let's work on this particular card section. So this card, what I noticed is very similar with the card we already had. So we just need to make a duplicate of that card. So we're going to call this info card. So call it an info card and info card. All right. So paste it here. So the thing that it doesn't really have is the image. It doesn't give anything about image. So we'll take the image off. Take it off in the props as well. So there's a text here that seems different. Copy that. And we can paste it right in here. So while we're doing that, we already know what our info card should look like. And so come here and do const data. And also can now come here and specify. So in the data, we want to make sure that we have everything. So we have the title, and description majorly. So we have the title and description majorly. So we copy the title here for the second card. We paste it in here. And also we already have the description. We just grab the entire thing and put it there. So we copy this. So we can grab this as well and put it in here. That seems to be missing. I'm going to copy that, put it in here. Okay, so before we even have our info card, we need to set up the header. So the header, according to the design, is just this thing here. So we're going to copy that and paste it in here. And the text is light blue, which is understandable. It's 14. It's actually bold. So we can do text light blue, text 14 pixel, uppercase, font bold. Nice. So there, basically we can now do our data, map, info, specify our index, try to render our info card components. Right, so info, and we'll pass the index in as a key. So we import our info card. That was quite a lot. Let's see what we have. So refresh this, scroll down. Okay, so we have all of this, and let's do flex, justify, between. Okay, I think the same thing. Instead of using grid, you can use flex here as well. So let's see. The career section, no. Hero section, no. Service section, I think, yes. Flex, justify, between. Yeah, so I think this makes sense. Very similar to what we have. Well, that gives us a very unique idea of what should be there. So then we can just, have a flex wrap for it. Okay, so flex wrap in the first one. So let's see the one we're working on currently. Where are you? Yeah, so flex wrap. So you can actually add some gap there. So let's say gap 8. So what we're going to do here, we just do empty stain. MB4. Okay, so let's do this. Good. This is exactly the way it should be. Right, so close that. So you can see that we have all of this set up. I think margin top was quite a lot. So maybe margin top will do 32 right there. Good. So we have the title, we have the description, and so on and so forth. So I think the width here actually changed though. This 361. Let's see if we're using some sort of fixed width in the info card. 361, right? Yeah. So let's do 361 pixel. It's fine. Okay, very nice. All right, so now I think we've almost been done with this section, almost. So what I want to do is to make sure that this section basically has, a background of white. So we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna do BG white. Okay, so not in the cards, in the actual container here. So info section. So we have BG white, and also, okay, so the BG white here though seems to be, okay, let's see, seems to be full width. Honestly, yes, it seems to be a full width kind of setup. So if that's the case, what we have to do is to take this away from the actual page. Right, so that's, I think, the info section. Okay, so yeah, so since we are taking it outside, we need to take this thing inside of it. So let's paste that in there. So in our case, it has to be in pixel, not margin, so that we can still have our background full. Okay, so let's do the distance between here and here. Yeah, it seems to be some sort of quite a distance. So what we're going to do is to just do padding y 32. Okay, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so we can actually make sure that this touches this part of things, which I think is very weird. Doesn't really make much sense, but it's what we have in design. We can do it. So in the info section, for medium devices, you want to do NC. Let's do -16 rem. Yeah, so -6 rem. One rem. Okay, so let's do 3 rem. Okay, so you can see it's actually touching in of this in here, right? So it's touching this other container, which is fine. Yeah, so if we have it in the mobile, that shouldn't be the case. Good. Nice. Okay, so now that we basically have that setup, we need to create the career part of things. All right, so let's build up the career part of things. Yes, so it's actually very similar, I think, with what we already have before. I need to, with this one, yeah, so I might be mistaken, but it has a title, it has another one, it has a button. Does that have a button? Yes, it does. Yeah, so very similar, like similar components. We just change the image and then remove the background. So I think we can actually use, similar setup. And that one was actually the hero section. So what we're going to do is, okay, in the hero section, we're missing this little icon since it wasn't absolutely positioned. So let's do that. I will miss that. Okay, so hero section. So we have this. Okay, so okay, so we can actually say, oh, this is relative. So you can come here, create a div, and we're just going to give it a separate image markup. So I think it actually has to be hero underscore icon. So come here and just do hero icon. Right, so there we go. So here we'll give it a class of absolute 3 left 3, something like that. Okay, so yeah, something like that just works. So we have to push it in a bit. All right, so we can actually do 5 5, top 5 left 5. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so this is one cool thing, and I think it just basically have a cursor pointer. So when you override, it can have this cursor stuff. So we'll be animating that later on. So let's grab this into a new component. I'm just going to copy the entire thing and take it to career section. Rename this to career. Right, so let's change some of the things we have. First one is this. So let's close out the rest. Let's close this out as well. That's the career section. Okay, so paste this in there. And this is the actual title. Grab all of this and replace it. And the lorem ipsum is the description. So you can pass that in there as well. We have our main button. But this does have a separate or different text. So pass that there too. And this image is actually like C1. So we don't need this one. Remove the relative here. And C underscore 1. So career, if I could spell. Okay, so you can see we already have the career setup. Yeah, now we basically have to figure out a way to, take it to the top. And this has to be in the baseline, in the best case. Right, let's do that. Okay, take this off. Good. And justify between has to be justify end. Okay, not really. I think items and good. Okay, something like that. Just like that, yeah. So I think the really relevant thing is we have to take it up a bit. So the way we do that normally is just, applying some sort of negative margins here and there. And also we have to remove any background whatsoever that it has. So we take it out. Sorry about that. And take it off from there. Okay, so let's take it to the top a bit. So what we're going to do is, this has to be for medium devices. So let's set -8 and see how it looks like. If that doesn't work, bump it up to a -10. All right, so let's see if it's the same. Not quite the same. We have to, take it to the top a bit. And also, I think we need to, add more at the bottom to this component. Info section. Okay, info section. Okay, so let's do 15 rem there. See what we have exactly. So with that, we can actually, push it more into it, like 15. Okay, seems a bit too much. Let's do 13. Okay, so I think 13 is decent, honestly. So let's see the mobile version of it. So this one, we basically have to, take this button to the bottom. So, okay, I'm going to take this down. And as a career history, where is our button? Career section. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we just do flex. So, all right. That's a little bit weird. Let's take that off. Oh, it seems not to be here. All right, let's search for this. All right, there we go there. And oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so we specify some sort of gap. Let's do gap it. All right. Okay, there we go. And padding bottom here seems too much though. So you can just do, yeah. All right, nice. All right, so I think with that, we can actually come to the last part, and that is the footer. So what we're going to do is just going to be particularly straightforward. So we'll change this to section, right? And we're going to have, I think, 3 parts of things. 1, 2, 3. So I think this will be the divider. This one will be the last test. So let's do that. So separator. So this one will be a combination of the footer logo and also the text we have on the right. So let's do that. Image source / images, then / footer logo art. That's actually the footer logo. Interesting. Yeah, so now we can work on this section. Isn't quite a lot. So what we can do is, since it's 2, we can do a div here with the first paragraph as the header and the other paragraph as the description. Yes, so let's style it. So this is 14, it's bold, it's text white. All right, so I think something, and also uppercase. So we can grab the same styling and paste it right in here. So grab the entire thing and add it here. So we have 14, but this is 16 unfortunately. So we can just modify that to 16. The bold, text white. This is not uppercase, it's a normal case. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Okay, so we're using separator from, not from Rally's UI. Sorry about that. We need to import the one coming from the UI separator folder. Alright, so let's refresh this. Scroll down. Okay. There's a footer for us. There's everything. PG dark blue. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay. So, but this looks bigger in the real sense of it, but somehow it doesn't. So I'm going to move this to 18. All right, and this 16, that's fine. So maybe one medium and the other bold. Okay, something like that, yeah. So let's do similar stuff. For this, right? So let's grab that. I just use light blue. It tells me it looks better on light blue. Not really. So let's stick with what we have before, white. So grab that, copy this part. And also this one. Nice. So what we're going to do though is that these guys are going to be in one side. Yeah, so everything here is going to be in one part. So that's this one and this. Maybe justify end. Great. Sustain. So let's say the padding from this one to the top is 64. So we can do py 64 pixel. That's for the top and the bottom. Okay, this fill, this is not pure white. It's always deceiving. It isn't pure white though. Okay, so now what about here and here? 64. Interesting. Okay, so we have that at 64. Nice. And also we need to bring in this guy. Copy it and put it here. So the class name here is actually text library. '16, I think. '40. Okay, interesting. So one of the things we'll do is to add the px inside of it. So I think the px should match what we already have, which is interesting. So I'm just going to go to a page, grab all of this and paste it right in here. So instead of mx, it's going to be px. Okay, good. So let's search for anywhere we're using bg. Here, okay, so we can use this. Nice. And also, what else is okay, so I noticed something was wrong. Okay, yeah, the padding between here and here, I think 116. So you can just do empty it's empty. Okay, so I think with this, we've actually come to the end of the final part. So it's actually good that most of the things are coming in as anticipated, right? So everything is looking very clean. So if I want to take this to the mobile version of it, so let's scroll down. Good, so except the photo is a little bit scattered on mobile. So let's see how we can fix that. Okay, so let's see. Maybe this gap 16 is too much. Got it. Good. So now we have to do flex row here. MD scrum MD flex row. Got it. Good. Okay, so as you see the folder now, it's nice in mobile and good in desktop. Okay, so let's go again. Let's take one final tour. Okay, very good. I think we've come to the end of this section.